Sean Strickland under the umbrella, not under guise, I'm not talking about like Dan Hooker again, like GUISE, under the guise, like this guy's under the umbrella, under the overarching, like he's not under dudes. At least I don't think so, bro. Did you hear that lady at the press conference yesterday? Did you hear that wild lady asking? It was like she was literally trying to bait Sean Strickland. There was a video that was like Sean Strickland talking about the upcoming fight and Hernandez talking about the fight. And there was this reporter, this lady, and I swear it seemed like if she was a plant. It seemed like if she was specifically planted there just to provoke Sean Strickland, just to get him. It felt like a sting. There's no way you didn't get the same feeling if you watched it. It literally felt like she was put there just to get him to say some crazy stuff. It 100% felt like that. Especially, I mean, not even just the questions that she was asking, but she had like this sardonic kind of like, she had this weird tone. Like, you know how sometimes when you're fighting with your lady and she has this tone, she's like, you know, you're acting like your dad right now. You know how she has like these mic drop moments in her tone? That's how that girl sounded the whole time. It was either like she was like hired by Paramount and it's one of their things to get ratings, and they're like, that's why we got the UFC, bro. We know that they're unfiltered. We need this. People like it. Or they're trying to get them fired. And this has been something that MMA fans and MMA talking heads and MMA talking beanies have been talking about, that it's possible. I've kind of riffed on this a little bit. I'm not saying I 100% believe this, but that it's at least possible that a company like Paramount, some big streaming behemoth, some big platform, would buy something like the UFC just to kill it, just to squash it and get it out of commission. Think about like Meryl Streep. Think about people in the Hollywood industry with the kind of influence and power and Illuminati type stuff that they got going on. They would love more than nothing to buy something like that just to say, you're done, you're gone, we don't have to deal with you anymore. We watered you down and you're out. It's over. So I know there's a little pocket of people. There was a little piece of me when I was listening to that was like, she's trying to tank Strickland and the UFC. This is crazy. If you guys haven't watched that Sean Strickland interview, you have to watch it. I mean, maybe I'm off. I don't know. Maybe I'm incorrect. But I feel like from what I could remember just off the beanie, I feel like it was like the most, like the most he's ever. And I feel like it was the most compressed. You might feel like, no. There was this one interview where he said this one thing, that was the worst. I feel like this interview was like the essential Sean Strickland. It was like Sean Strickland's greatest hits. It was like, you know how some people know Queen, but they only know like Bohemian Rhapsody and like Another One Bites the Dust. It was like you get that album from Walmart, you know, it just packs in all the goodies. This was crazy, bro. You have to watch it. I couldn't believe it. And I know we're talking about Sean Strickland here. He's kind of like the Marilyn Manson of the UFC, you know? Like, people watch him for one thing. It's just going to be shock value, edgelord type of, it's going to be crazy. You're just with your mouth open. He started talking about women's MMA, and honestly, I don't really know how I feel about that. I don't. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about women's MMA? Because I have to be honest. When I do the Mexican Fight Companion, and I'm here with you guys and we're streaming the fights, I'm seeing your chat every single time there's a women's fight. I mean, this is the soundboard right here. I'm seeing you guys with your own fingertips, or, you know, for you youngins with your thumbs. I'm seeing all of you guys say, this is boring, snooze fest, how do I skip this? Boo, this is lame, they got to get rid of this. The only positive thing I ever hear when the ladies are fighting is, ooh, the cameraman knew the assignment. Oh, nice. The cameraman is a man of culture. Oh, look at this one. Oh, I hope my lady don't walk in. That's it. It's just like hashtag cochino type stuff. It's never like, oh, look at the technique. Look at the strategy. Oh, big knockout. Oh, what a submission artist. Oh my gosh, look at the footwork. Never. If anything, they're talking about the empatas, but not as far as like strategy. So it's like, you know, if you just ask me, what do you think about women's MMA? Should we get rid of it? I'm like, nah. Like, why? That's messed up. Rose Namajunas is like one of my favorite. I'm kind of struggling to say it. I almost gagged a little bit because it's like, am I really gonna say that right now? Because it's been rough. It's been rough because of that PB&J, that Pat Berry and Jolly. But I've often referred to her even recently as one of my top 5 active favorite fighters. And I think there are obviously ladies in MMA that do have skill. They are true, pure martial artists. They have good technique and stuff like that. But every single time anybody actually voices anything about it, it's negative. So, I mean, it's easy for people to look at Sean Strickland and be like, oh, you're a misogynist, you're sexist, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, shut up, bro.
I actually admire that you can actually be this fake.
Every time I see anytime I see anybody actually have some kind of a take on it, it's negative. They don't like it. It's boring. Can we skip it? I can't believe I paid for this. It's always the same thing. So I don't know. It's tough. I think with ladies, it might be the ultimate. You know how there's even some male fighters where it's like, bro, Colby, I don't even. You're going to have to talk the most trash, bro. You're going to have to talk so many papas, bro. You're going to make Idaho jealous. You got to talk like I couldn't possibly care less to see you fight, bro. You're going to have to talk so much. Even some of the dudes have to do that. And these are people that actually have knockout power, that actually could TKO somebody on a regular basis. I feel like, man, the ladies, they might really have to start. Which is crazy to me because you would think, and I don't know if this is a sexist thing to say, but often I found that the sexist thing to say is often the most honest. I feel like the ladies, like who could talk better trash, bro? Imagine the ladies just rattling off at each other and hurling insults and talking about each other's eyebrows and stuff like that. That would be like the highest level. Like Charles Sonnen would blush, bro. I feel like they would have some of the highest level trash talk. One more thing I want to say about the Sean Strickland interview. Apparently, there's a company or I think back in the day, maybe they were a magazine. They might. It's so funny how something could be so big and prestigious and important. And it's like, I don't even know about it. But there's something called Variety. I simply know that as a word that's kind of a positive word. It just means that you have like, you know, a nice little smorgasbord, you know. But there's a entity or organization or some kind of company called Variety. And apparently he's on their radar now. He's on the map. They're saying, and a lot of people are tweeting and sending blah, 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 and crying about it. What are you going to do about it? Hey, Paramount, what are you going to do about this dude? Are you going to spank him? What are you going to do? Are you going to send him to the island of Patmos? What are you going to do with this dude? We need to see some blood. We need to see something. We need to see him fired. We need some kind of chastisement. Come on, give us something. And that's very, very tricky. That's very tricky. I mean, you put Jimmy Kimmel out of commission and then you bring him right back. I mean, that's a precedent. It was setting a precedent to oust Jimmy Kimmel, and then it set another precedent to bring him back. Now, I always say the same thing when it comes to freedom of speech. I always say the same thing. I feel like you should let people talk. Because if you truly think that they're stupid and they're saying something stupid, let them expose that. Let them prove how dumb they are. Don't silence them. If you silence them, we're not going to know how stupid they are. Now, I'm not saying that I feel that way about Sean Strickland. I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with them. I think I kind of weave in and out. But what I'm saying is, it's going to set a very dangerous, a very bad precedent if Paramount feels like they got to do something about this. Now, I don't really remember. I thought I remember that Paramount and CBS had some kind of interconnectedness with Donald Trump and that side. And a lot of people from the other side were upset about that because they were like, oh, everything is going toward that. It's the White House. It's CBS. It's Paramount. They're the ones trying to silence Jimmy Kimmel. I don't remember. I think that's what the case was. So knowing that, keeping that in mind, yesterday when I saw the interview with Sean Strickland, part of me was like, I wonder if they're having this lady provoke him because they like what he's saying. And that's what Paramount's all about. There was a part of me that was thinking that. But if not, it's going to be real dangerous if Paramount feels like they have to do anything to quiet him. Because here's the tricky part. What is UFC? What is WWE? What is TKO? It is branded as an entertainment company. So if you could have movies with people murdering people, assaulting people in inappropriate ways, bombing buildings, stealing, doing all this crazy stuff, and you don't arrest them, why? Because they're paid actors and there are scripts and they're entertaining. Thank you. They're entertaining you. They're entertainers. It's an entertainment company. Sean Strickland, under the umbrella, not under guise. I'm not talking about like Dan Hooker again, like GUISE, under the guise, like this guy's under the umbrella, under the overarching, like he's not under dudes. At least I don't think so, bro. Unless he ends up having a girlfriend that comes out saying that he's cheating on her and his wife and his boyfriend, that would be crazy. But are you gonna come after actors from Landman for shooting somebody? Are you gonna go get Al Pacino because he killed some dudes in Scarface? It's entertainment, right? So how are you gonna come after Sean Strickland when he's an entertainer? It's entertainment. And I know the world's a stage and AI is making everything even more complicated. And it's like, who's acting, who's not acting, who's the real you? But that's the world that we live in. I wouldn't be surprised if the way that everything is going right now with Sean Strickland and the interviews and the reporters and how it's getting pretty weird. I wouldn't be surprised if they, because it was a weird coincidence. And I don't know if I did something to my algorithm or what. you know that black dude that goes, "Why are you gay?" You know that. I thought it would be the most hilarious crossover if for the next press conference that Dan Hooker's in, they do a collab with that dude and they fly him out and he just goes, "Why are you gay?"